Has it started? Yeah. Okay. Hi guys. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. And tell me, Daniels. Woo. I think about faith, relationships, lifestyle, property, and all that good stuff. So I know that good. That's it. Stuffs. I mean all that good stuff. Today's video is a property video, as you've seen from the title. I just want to talk about rogue builders. It's a bit of an informal video. I just go back from a meeting and I just need to film this rather quickly. Okay, so we're talking about rogue builders and why you shouldn't invest in properties. Rogue builders edition. All right, let's get right into the video. Mr. Shadana. He's doing it, just looking at me. What do you want to do? Let's go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think you should join the video. Actually, you should definitely be in the video. Okay, so you shouldn't invest in properties because of rogue. Actually, before we say we should.
What are you talking about?
Talking about rogue builders. Rogue builders. Your favorite topic.
Wait, it's not my favorite topic.
But before we even go into that, I was going to say like what we do. So we are property developers. We buy, run them. Sorry.
Do you want to move a bit?
Oh, am I not? Okay. We buy rundown properties and we do them up and we rent them out essentially. So I don't know if you've heard about the BRRR.
No questions.
Aren't you supposed to be calling that? I know you gave it. The fact that you're even having to do like
just
this.
Say, yeah, we do BRR.
BRR means buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. Refinance is basically, yeah, if you need to refinance.
We do it again.
And yeah, and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. So we do that. But, so this video, I guess obviously it's a bit of a sarcastic video, but we wanted to tell you some of our experiences, some of the wild experiences we've had personally. So this is our personal story.
But it's not a sarcastic video. I mean,
No. I said why you shouldn't invest in properties.
Yeah.
Of course, we're property, like we believe you should.
But
if you're looking for reasons,
yeah.
why not to watch this?
Wait till the end.
Wait till the end, actually. Wait till the end. So, road builders, tell us some of your experiences. Have you ever experienced road builders?
Absolutely. Loads and loads. And you've got to ask yourself, hope I'm not attracting road builders. No.
What am I doing wrong? What is it about me?
No, absolutely. I guess because we've done quite a few projects, we've come across some good builders and we've come across some not so good builders. Yeah. And I think retaining builders generally is a lot of work, especially if you don't have, you need to keep giving them work to retain them because they've got to have a livelihood. So, rogue builders, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the first thing I would say is don't invest in properties or if you don't want to encounter builders. We've done encounter, if you cannot handle deception, essentially.
This is not for you.
Do you have examples of
this? Is not for you.
I cannot remember. I'll put deception, outbreak.
No.
Deception and disappointment. Yeah. Deception and disappointment. Tell us about that, please.
So, deception. A builder I actually had this on a recent project. The builder said he had put up the walls, essentially, and we were on holiday. And then he sent pictures of plasterboards. I'll see if you can get a picture in there of plasterboards on the wall, and we thought it was attached. And he asked for his payment, and I gave it to him, only to get a site. And literally, he leaned the plasterboards against the wall. But
took that one picture.
And I took that one picture. There was another time he said he had painted all of the house. Apparently, I'd only painted one room, and it took different angles of the pictures. It was really creative with that, and then only to get there, and then it's not done.
Yeah. I mean, deception also in terms of deception and disappointment in terms of them telling you, oh, we'll be there today. We're going to be there from 7 a.m. or starting at 7 a.m. and we'll be, we're going to be there till late. And you get there at 10, thinking you're just strolling in, and though they must have got to like 3 hours of walking.
What you've done.
And I mean, she gets called me sometimes and be like, "There's no one here." Actually, it was that same project that quite a few times. And I was like, they'll be like, "I just got here. There's no one here." Can I tell you? Actually, good. Like, let me tell you a story. She called me one day and said, "You just got there. There's no one there."
And this was like,
and I was at work.
11 a.m. or something.
Yeah, so this was like in the morning. I was at work. Started called him several times. He wasn't picking up. I think eventually you got a hold of him. Yeah. Guess what the builder said?
He said, "No way. The builders are there. I dropped them there myself. Like, I dropped them." So I asked him, "What time did you drop?" Because it took a while to come back to me. He said he dropped them about, say, 10 o'clock. And I got there, say, about after 10:30. And then I was like, there's absolutely no way that. And he said, and he was just frantic. He said, this is possible. This is not possible. I dropped them. Then they even asked pictures of them being there.
That's when you knew. Of course, from the beginning, because we already were having issues, so we knew it was a lie from the beginning. But then, why would you just be taking random pictures of them dropping them off if you really had pictures?
He told me not to worry. No, he told me not to worry. That he's going to call them right now. That he doesn't understand what's happening. He's going to call them, and that was the last I heard of him till I think maybe another 3 days, and then.
I think so. Then actually, another reason is: are you ready to handle lies and loads of lies?
Humongous lies.
Of course, we're not saying this is. We're speaking specifically about rogue builders. So in case you're a builder watching this and thinking, "Oh, I don't lie," we're talking about rogue builders.
No.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? A builder told me he was coming to site in the morning. So I called him about 6 a.m. and you're probably wondering why I'm calling at ungodly hours. Actually, maybe like half 6, like 6:30. And it wasn't really like an ungodly hour because he usually sets out from his house at 6 o'clock to get to site about half 7 or thereabout. So this day I messaged him about 6:30 to say that, oh, are we all good? And he said yes, that they are on their way. And then 8:30, I hadn't seen them. I was on site and he said, I can't believe what happened. No, he didn't pick the call, so I'd been calling, so he didn't pick the call. Then he finally picks the call at 8:30 and he said, because when he messaged me at 6:30, he said they were on the motorway. On the motorway. And then at 8:30, he did say that they ran into a bank, that they had an accident. No, that the driver collapsed. While driving.
And then drove into a bank.
And then drove into a bank that's currently with the police and the bank officials. They're trying to sort out, so he can't talk much, and then he will talk to me later.
Honestly,
and
it's wild.
I kept on messaging him.
So when I thought about when she said that, and I was like, wait. So you're telling me? How can you tell someone that the builder collapsed while he was driving? It was on the motor. You had said he was on the motorway previously. And then you're saying from the motorway, he collapsed while I was driving, and he ended up driving into a bank, and he's with the police right now, and he's trying to.
And guess what? So throughout the day. Well, it was one thing. He had to take them to the hospital. He had to take the builder to the hospital. The police wouldn't let him go, and yada 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 yada. So the following day, they come to site.
And the collapsed
the person that collapsed was back on site walking. And guess what? I went to check the van. There was no accident. So I asked him, I asked one of the builders that, what part of the van did you guys have an accident with? And I said, oh no, that they were working on that job. And I guess he didn't know
what the boss had said.
And then I asked the boss said, oh, they had repaired the van, that they had to go and repair the van.
Such stupid. I honestly, sometimes you think that you really think I'm stupid. And sometimes you keep quiet, like, through this things, because whilst you know that they are lying and you're 100% sure or 110% sure they're lying, sometimes you just think, you know what, let me just play nice and see how, if we can just keep getting along. I think oftentimes what it is though is that eventually they're still going to walk away if they start giving like such lies. It may just be like a one-off where they just in the day off and they could just have been upfront about it, but I don't know, for some reason sometimes they feel they need to lie. Like if you needed to go and do something, or I'm not going to come today, there's nothing I can do about it. You're not coming. Yeah, I may not be happy about it, but you're not coming, and you can just say that rather than like giving like this ridiculous lies.
There was a story I heard, and this is from someone that I know very well, who their builder told them. So I think the builder had been to work in the morning, and then they needed to do something in the afternoon or around midday. So they went to the site, and the builder wasn't there. The whole property was locked up. And then they called the builder, and the builder said, oh, he's just gone for lunch. This was about noon. And guess where the builder was? He was at the airport.
Oh no, I think it was already in the country. It was like he had already gone to like was it Europe, another country? Was it still at the airport?
No. He was still at the airport, and they said he was just grabbing lunch. Anyway, long story short, he was out of the country. Like he flew out of the country.
And this is like we know.
Yeah, and he told the person to wait for him.
Honestly,
that's in there.
Yeah, and still sort of on lies as well. Can you handle, if you cannot, or I was saying like, why you shouldn't invest in properties. You shouldn't if you cannot handle one more builder's family member's death. Or The second most popular one, no, I think actually this maybe the death is probably second most popular. The most popular one, I think, is also always being pulled over by the police.
Yeah,
they have pictures.
They always have pictures. They always have crash pictures.
They always have like they literally take the pictures. And I'm just like, oh my god. Oh, no. And then when I say, by the way, then obviously I know I talked about death. But like sometimes you just like, oh, like someone just died, it's a family member, it's like someone is always dying.
There's so many times. Well,
of course it could be true. Sometimes I can't prove that, and if someone is telling me that they've just lost another family, I'm not gonna. I argue? Of course, I just have to be like sympathetic. But when you know that person has already been like, you've been on the project for what, they've had the time that you've had the same person. Someone has collapsed and run into a ditch. The same person, the police has pulled you over a couple of times. Now your family members, like I actually heard one as well. They said, you didn't think you heard this. Someone was telling me that person said that his family member was kidnapped.
Oh yeah.
If that may be true, like it may be true, but honestly, when you just like you see other traits, so we're not taking this reasons in isolation. It's actually like you're just seeing a trait in.
Absolutely.
And I can say something.
So this one about dying. I think there's a funny joke that I make with them is that your mother can only die once. And here's something that happened. So there's this builder that I work with, either myself or one of my friends or someone I knew, and then he told me a story that his mom, no, he told the other person, because I worked with the person first, that his mom died. That was a year ago. But when he was working with me, his mom was ill. This was after. So
but what he didn't tell us is she might be raised. Maybe he didn't go back to.
She was raised from the dead.
Because we're Christians, so that does happen. People can be raised from the dead.
Does. Lies upon lies upon lies, and it's extremely ridiculous. As in, just to think about the number of people that have died. So there was this particular builder that we're working with, and he was always using his wife as the cop-out. So it's either his wife was pregnant.
Oh, sorry, did I forget the Miss Popular? It's hospital.
Oh yeah.
Yes, no, not them being in hospital. Their family members.
They've taken someone to the hospital. They've taken a team member to the hospital.
Yeah. Anyway, we said all of that to give you like different experiences, and we've not even talked about the builders that have just walked off. You don't.
Oh yeah, like I can actually remember.
Oh my God!
I went for a meeting. I went for a meeting with this builder because he was acting funny, and then he said, I went to him and I said, what's the problem exactly? And he said he wants more money. He feels like he's underquoted for this job. And I said, that's fine. How much more do you want? And he told me, and he negotiated, and we were like, good. So we're now going to get back to work of our best behavior and all of that. And he said, yeah. And then I left, and I came back the following day, and the whole house was empty. He had cleared out all his tools. He had left my receipts for me, and that was the last I saw of him. Well, not the last.
Him, but he's been angry. We've seen him a couple of times. I was talking about them just walking off and you not seeing them again, or not even like they've walked off. Maybe they've taken an extended break, and then there's been some where you find them on social media. The person is saying they're not responding, or they're saying they are ill, they're whatever.
Yeah.
And then we
all
found
of the team has a flu.
Yeah, and we found their social media like handles, and I'm seeing the person is in Spain, like they're tracing their location.
From Spain to Portugal.
Yeah, in Spain, they're on holiday, like and just having fun. And I'm like, it's a holiday, like you're going on holiday. It's not the end of the world. But I think also what a lot of those, just let us know. What a lot of those road builders do is that they've taken on multiple jobs, of course, because they're just taking money from like different people. Because you start, oftentimes they don't start like that on day one. Day one, day two, like they start with a lot of promise. They're sending messages of this, but we've done today, sending pictures, all of that. So they start with a promise, and then they go do that to like a lot of different people, and then basically they're the scammers essentially. But builders, we've said all of that. We've said all. You say one more.
And I'm sure that there's a builder that is watching, because one of the builders we work with actually did tell us that they don't want to walk out from our job lest they see a video on our YouTube channel saying how the builders.
I think it was actually the builders that built our house.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, we've said all of that, but the flip side to it is, are you, in terms of, we're saying that, don't invest in property if you cannot handle all the deception and lies and heartbreaks.
Wait, just before one, don't, become a property investor if you cannot manage like proper people as in
skills.
Yeah, because I've gone to site some days everything is going on well, and one team member just calls me, especially when you have different trades, so like a builder and electrician just calls me and says, is no longer doing, is walking out of my job because of what the builder did. And it's just simple things.
I'm just admiring my hair because you can see my comfort looking.
Okay. Simple things that you can manage, like literally have a conversation about it, and then they just walk off. So sometimes I'm on site, I'm just being a peacemaker. No matter how angry I am, how there's a delay because of their disagreement, I still need to come and say, okay, you know what?
Let's do this.
Let's calm down.
Even if you're thinking, oh, you're right, you're wrong, but again, you're not going to say, oh, you're wrong. You're not trying to get anyone to walk out. You just want them to finish your job. That's the goal, yeah. But so we said all of that and said, well, can you handle all of that? But the flip side is, can you handle, I would say, like 100% ROI, like return on investment in like a very short space of time, and by short space I mean like 3 to 6 months.
Yep.
Can you handle extra cash flow?
Yep.
Can you handle my favorite? Can you handle luxurious holidays, multiple luxurious holidays a year? If you can handle all of that, then you can surely handle road builders as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we just wanted to share this video, which I've dragged him into. We just wanted to share really that you can like property is great, like it's beautiful, it's amazing, we love it, but it's not like all a bed of roses. It's not a walk in the park. And even though we show you, like obviously I show you like a before and after of properties, and you don't see like the in between and the day-to-day runnings of it and the things that we're dealing with in the middle. So it doesn't mean, so I don't want you to particularly for those that are even like in the middle of a build or in the middle of like properties or being property like developers themselves or investors themselves, and you're thinking, oh maybe I'm doing something wrong, I'm not doing it right, that's why it's so hard for me, or that's why I'm having all these issues. It may not be that you're doing anything wrong. We're just letting you know that it happens. Like we all go through this. We all have to deal, with this sort of issues and situations. But I think what differentiates one person or one property investor or developer from another is your ability to kind of stay and to remain steadfast to the process and trust the process and keep going, not do like, even if you've been burnt, like, and you've, you can recover, you can start again, and we learn. We actually, there's so many things
we live and learn.
We learn, we see, okay, how we did it. Should we have like withheld more money? Did we give a bit too much money? Or were we a bit lax? Were we too trusting? Were we
sympathetic?
Because one of the builders as well was talking like, they say we're giving him money. No, not even that one. We're giving him money, like saying send money for scaffolding, send money for this. Or they brought it today. They didn't bring anything, and we just again didn't hear from them.
Were we going on too much holidays during the project? Yes, absolutely.
I love holidays. I love my holidays. Yeah. Speaking of which, holiday are coming soon. This one is going to be really, really nice. I'm going to really, really take my time with this one.
Can we finish this project that I'm doing now?
Yes.
That we're doing now.
I'm doing now. Yeah, I think you're going to say something before.
I probably lost my train of thought. But we're currently working on a refurb, and you could check out my Instagram to see. I've been trying to put weekly updates, which reminds me, I need to put an update out today. I've been putting weekly updates out, and then just to sort of get a time lapse of what's been happening with the project. Also, if you're a property developer and you haven't ever met with a road builder, could you just drop a comment? And
tell us how you're doing it.
Yeah, give us the formula. I'll probably enroll for your masterclass. And if you had horror stories with road builders,
I really want to read it.
Please. I'm actually looking forward to the comment section. Please.
It's going to be a good one actually, because then it would just lighten our load and just make us know that we're not alone, and share your story. I really, really want to hear if you have horror stories, and maybe we could come back here and read those stories some other time. So if you put those comments in the comment section, we could just come and read and share, and it will just be a way to lift each other up, and we could just laugh and make jokes and then move forward from that.
With this, we've come to the end of the video. Of what?
I was already like alien. Why not to invest in properties Road Builders Edition?
Yeah. For more content, for more inspirational content, lifestyle.
I like that.
Check other videos. We've got a playlist of property videos. If you want to see me, drop a message. I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay. I really like that actually. Well done. You did good. Alright, I have nothing more to add to that. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Love you. Bye.